Hello and welcome to episode number 10 of the Scottish Football Matters podcast. I can't believe that. Number 10 already. Episode number 10. Can you believe that? This week on the pod, we'll be discussing the weekend's results from the Scottish Premiership. As it's transfer deadline day, we'll delve into what's going on in Scottish football with that. We'll pick out our goal of the weekend from the past fixtures, and then we'll maybe have a preview of the Scotland game coming up at the weekend. How you doing, mate?
With better deadline days. It's not been particularly exciting, but
No.
yeah, let's get cracking on the weekend's games. Start with Saturday. I think you predicted this one right, actually. Livingston 1, Hearts 2.
That's right. I
Uh,
said 2-1, didn't I?
Good comeback win for Hearts. They did well to get back, and actually that was my goal of the weekend. Actually, the win on the Hearts game. I thought it was a great wee finish, even though
Uh,
it came to a Livingston mistake. Like they tried to
mhm.
clear it and it hit their own player, but the pass into the Greek boy that scored, and then the finish was lovely. So,
What's his name again? Is it Katsaridis or something like
aye, I'll just call him the Greek boy.
that?
But no, I think again just shows you Hearts are they've got real battling qualities. Even when they're not playing well, they still come
Yeah.
out with a three each with Motherwell, and then the 2-1 against Livingston. And we all know going to Livingston is a grind. So
Oh, of course.
fair play. So
Plastic pitch as well.
yeah. What did you think? It pretty much the same. Just
Ah,
good, good
good
start.
game. I think the boy Braga is going to become good.
Yeah,
He looks as
good.
if he could be a good signing
Although he
for
did
them.
miss a sitter later on,
Aye.
but his near post header was good.
hmm
But
Aye. He looked good though.
I agree. On to Kilmarnock against, Motherwell against Kilmarnock. What did you think
hmm
of that? Kettlewell's return to Fir Park. I thought it was a good game, actually. Very good
Ah,
game.
I felt sorry for Motherwell. I felt they should have won the game.
Probably, but the goalkeeping error cost them. But you got to praise Kettlewell.
Oh,
I
aye.
mean, that's four draws, isn't it, for both of their
hmm
sides in
I
two
think so.
games.
Plus the fact as well that he
Their
was getting a
team,
lot of dogs abuse at the game as well.
well,
Kettlewell.
obviously, but you can understand that one considering how he left them by
Oh,
saying
aye.
that he didn't like getting moaned at too much.
hmm Aye.
No, but I thought Kelly, you've got to give them credit. They ground out another point. I don't think Kelly have played as well as maybe Motherwell have in their four games.
No,
Um, but
they haven't.
they've still got 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting draws. But like we'll speak on with Rangers teams like St Mirren, Motherwell, Kelly, Rangers. They need to turn these draws into wins, or else they're not going to go up the table the way they think they could.
No.
Because in some ways you're better winning two and losing two out of four than four draws
Yeah,
because you get less points. So it's just
that's true.
yeah. So what I would say is that Motherwell definitely look the better of the two teams, but fair play to Kelly again because I think they've had a two each away to Hibs and a two
hmm
each away to Motherwell, so they're picking up decent points. I think what they need to do is maybe try and start getting wins in their home games because I know they drew with Dundee, didn't they, in a home
Aye.
game, and that's the sort of one that you go. And I think they drew with Livy as well. So you're looking at those two home games being Livy and Dundee. If I was Kelly, I'd be expecting 6 points, and to come
hmm
away with two. I maybe wouldn't have expected the two they've got on the road, but you know what I mean.
No.
It's about getting a good balance. But we move on to Sunday. Aberdeen Falkirk. The red card obviously changes the game. What did
Yeah.
you think of the red card? Because it's one of those ones for me that when you see a still image of a player hitting, the studs going that high up, you can see why it's a red card. But to me, all it is a frustrated kick of the ball,
hmm
and he's unfortunately caught him in a follow through.
Well, it was just,
Just,
I mean, similar.
I don't,
I mean, I don't know if you can compare the Yang incident to it against Hearts. I mean, he's foot high as well, but I don't
maybe
know.
not that one, but I remember there's one the other year that Ryan Jack got a red card for Rangers up at Aberdeen, and he takes the ball, and the follow through, yeah, it catches the boy
hmm
quite high, but you can't make your foot disappear.
Oh, I know.
It's one of those really tricky ones that you show a referee a still image or something and you go, oh, that's high. But look at the whole image. All he's done is frustratingly boot the ball out the pitch. I think he's actually trying to hit it off the player to win a throw.
Aye. Yep.
And
it's obviously no went
you
like
know,
that. It's no planned it that way.
he's just sort of followed through, but you can't. Sometimes you're going to get accidental collisions in football, and I don't think
It's a contact sport.
And referees help the
I know.
situation with those sort of ones. But fair play to Falkirk, though. I have to say a lot of teams don't always take advantage of the 10 men, but they did, and they got they got the win. So
and Aberdeen have had a poor start to the season, haven't they? They really have.
We'll talk on I think they're making a transfer today, but Jeremy Keelan could be in a wee bit of trouble because we know what that European draw is like, and if they take a few heavy defeats, I could be a little worried for him because it hasn't all been plain sailing. It's not like his first season was all good. It was almost amazing, then disastrous, then okay.
Then they get the cup at the end, but
and then it's considered this start of the season's been poor. So yeah, I think but fair play to Falkirk though, because I said you win games when you're up against 10 men, so fair play.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the Dundee derby. An exciting derby game.
Aye. For once.
No, I think Dundee United did really well, took their goals well.
They deserved it.
A great deal of quality in the game, but Dundee United, a bit like Hibs, I think they look better on the road. They look like they're a side that are well set up to go away from home and pick up points. So
it's planning out for Stephen Presley maybe to be the first one at the door as well, is it not?
I think he's certainly got a bit more. Well, I don't know. I think Thielen is probably would be my favourite in that department, but I don't think he's further behind.
I don't think he's won a game yet either, though.
No,
Aberdeen must have won a game. They have won a game.
No,
but they know.
No,
they've obviously
no points.
They won in the cup, didn't they? They won in the cup.
They won in the cup, and they've lost all 3 league games. But remember, they got one cancelled. Sure.
That's right. It's that one. I'm forgetting about that one that they got cancelled. I was thinking the cup
game
was a league game.
But they've lost to Hearts, Celtic, and Falkirk. But
Falkirk.
More worryingly about that is they've lost two of the home games, and their game that's rescheduled at Tannadice. So you wouldn't say that's a banker.
He isn't trouble.
The
looks of it.
Should we talk about Hibs St Mirren again? I think it was a good game. Actually, for the highlights that I've seen, it seems like it was all Hibs in that first half.
Yeah.
Chance after chance after chance. But St Mirren do what they do. They defend, they stay in a game. And then obviously they score for a set piece. And then Hibs equalise for a set piece. But I think fair play to I've said this a few times now that Hibs don't look as good at home as they do away. They look fragile at Easter Road. St Mirren just look the same everywhere.
Do you think that Hibs were denied a penalty in the dying embers of the game?
I seen it right, and when I looked at it first time, I thought that's a penalty, and then the second time I went, I'm not so sure. And I'm one of those ones that I think if it's given on the field, it gets given, but I'm not sure there's enough there for VAR to intervene.
It's one of the in-between ones, isn't it? You're not so sure.
But it's the sort of one, though, if you're a Hibs fan, it's a Stonewaller. If you're a St Mirren fan, it's no, come on. Yeah. So, let's move on to the last but not least, but it probably should be least, the Rangers Celtic game.
Do we have to?
We might as well. I genuinely thought it was a bit like the Celtic games with Kairat. 2 poor teams. Lacking
any quality.
What I would say in Rangers' defence to that was that on the back of the terrible performance against Club Brugge, it was nice to see. I don't even know if Rangers did improve, but it was nice to see Rangers not give up as many chances. But then I don't know if that was more about Celtic being so insipid in the forward play. Do you know what I mean?
It's just
sometimes it's hard to actually
Celtic's tactics. Backwards, backwards. Even at one point with a free kick, up at your end, up at you, and it just ends up back at the goalkeeper, Schmeichel, and you're like, what happened there?
It's a difficult one to sort of unpack because, like from a Rangers perspective, you're sitting there going, okay, it's an improvement performance-wise on the first three, but it's not a better result. It's still a draw, and
he was still getting booed at the end of the game.
If you've been totally honest, a 0-0 is always better in a derby match for the away team.
Well, of course, I felt that. I mean, I said that. That was a good result. I was quite happy with it. The way the game was panning out, it looked better.
I would be massively surprised if Rangers played Celtic again this season and Celtic were as poor as that.
It shouldn't be. They can't be.
From Rangers' point of view, it's probably disappointing that they didn't find a way to win, but they didn't really deserve to win. Like, I think
neither did Celtic.
The first half Rangers were better. I think Rangers edged the first half. Obviously, the disallowed goal. It's just offside. You can't argue with that. The lines are the lines. He's leaning forward. But I did think Rangers were the better team in the first half. I don't think.
I thought we came into it maybe about 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, but I would almost put that down to I felt Rangers looked knackered with 20 minutes to go.
You'd have thought we'd have been knackered because of the travelling and obviously we was into extra time and penalties.
We played a lot of games with these European ones, so I can understand that. But I didn't think Martin was quick enough to make subs. Whereas, because I felt that when you made subs about 60, I felt we were crying out for it at that point, and we waited till nearly 70 minutes. And even these subs, I thought, were the wrong subs. Like, I get that you want to give Dessers a send-off, but, like, see, in some ways, you know, I want to just bring on the player that is going to be here.
Well, I suppose you're right.
And, like, and let's be honest, if you had one chance and it falls to Danilo or Dessers, you'd probably back Danilo more than Dessers.
We had Ida. We called Ida back after he went and did his medical, and he wasn't even in the squad. So there you go.
Yeah, no, that's another one. I thought he's brought on Shin, right, and I actually thought some of his play back to goal was good. Like, I felt he used his body quite well, like up against Suter and Njiga. I thought he did quite well in that. But I still felt like some of Celtic subs were all wrong. I mean, he brought on the left back and
Sarachi.
He wasn't ready for that.
No.
But at the same time, I get why you don't want to disrupt your backline and move Scales again and all that nonsense that you've been doing.
And I was annoyed as well when Alec Wisha had the ball. To me, I don't know what you think, but I don't.
Kept turning back.
But Tavernier at this point just falls in the ground and gets a free kick. That was never a foul.
That was clever though from Tavernier.
Fair enough, but it was
doing what you do, and sometimes you just need to look at it and go, right, okay, I'm running backwards here and I'm going to lose my balance. I'm going to initiate the contact.
You can see when you see the replay that he's clearly dived. No, well, all right, but he's went down. He went looking for it. He went looking for it.
Yeah, you see the contact and you go, I'll go down. It'll be soft, and defenders always get that. You see it all the time.
The same as Miovski. I think that was a soft one as well with Scales. That was never a penalty.
It's one of those ones that I don't think it's enough to be a penalty, but at the same time, I do think that happens a lot. That strikers will get goal side, and they'll stop running to initiate the contact. Now, sometimes it's a penalty, and sometimes it's not. It's one of those ones that it's a difficult one for referees and VAR to judge because the striker is waiting for that defender to collide with him. So they can say there's contact, but if he keeps running, I think he's got a chance, and that's what annoyed me because he had goal side of Scales, and for me, probably, especially with being a left footer, he's in a good position to get a shot away.
Yeah,
but don't get me wrong, I did think Miovski was good though. I thought he, considering he obviously only in the door the day before, he led the line quite well. He's a handful. You can see he'll be a good signing. I think it's problem for Rangers is that they don't create enough for strikers.
It never even saw. You're lucky if Butland had a save to make. The only one I can remember was the shot for Hatate in the second half, and that was it.
Did Kasper Schmeichel have saves to make?
No.
That's the thing is, Rangers can say that they were better up to a point, but they're still not creating enough chances. It's all well and good saying, "Oh, we didn't give away as much," but I
Didn't
thought
create much
you
either.
need to create. You need to create, especially in your home. See, if that was away at Celtic Park, I would accept that you might not create enough, but you'll come away with a 0-0 fine. But at home, you need to be really pushing. And I felt, you know, it looked like, see, with 15 minutes to go, it was two teams who looked too scared to go and win it in case they lost it.
I said yesterday that
Mm.
basically what was going to win it was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was going to take a mistake to win that game.
Casper Schmeichel tried his best to make one, didn't he, when he came out? He collided.
Oh, I
But
know.
no, I think we'll move on. But I think what I would say is, it'll sort of bring us on to transfers. If anyone who watched that game are in the Celtic or Rangers board, they should have been working doubly hard today to improve because that was two poor teams. And what I would say, more importantly, is it's two teams that I don't think are even close to being equipped to go into the Europa League
No,
and
definitely not.
win games like we want our teams to do.
I've got the fear that Celtic will get hiding off of some of the teams in the Europa if we're not careful.
So we'll start with Celtic then. So it's looking like, as we speak, things might change. That
Sebastian Tunikti.
Yep, you can pronounce that one. I'm just going to
Yeah.
call him Wee Tunisian winger that's kicking about in Sweden.
Sebastian Tunikti.
Yep, so 5.2 million. Is it pricey? Probably not in this day and age.
He's a left winger.
It's another left winger. Unless you're going to move Balak Wisha to the right.
Well, I suppose Balak Wisha can play on the right as well. He can play on both sides.
Yeah,
but
then what do you do with Maeda? Because I thought he looked absolutely shocking up front. He looks the sort of guy that still doesn't know how to play up front.
Well, maybe he'll actually come good now that there's a bit of competition there, because maybe that's what these players need.
But then,
I mean, obviously, he's not going to get dropped, is he? Because there wasn't anybody in there for competition. But now that there's competition, he might up his game. I'm hoping.
There's not a lot of competition in that. I mean, you've got strikers, so you've got Johnny Kenny, you've got Shinya
Yamada, and Callum Osmond.
Going to get this. You've got Osmond, and then you're potentially going to get this boy David Fofana. But again, he's a young player. He's 22, not a lot of experience.
I know.
And you just feel like Celtic were getting linked with guys like Casper Dolberg, and you go,
gutted about the Dolberg one. That's a guy I wanted.
That's a signal of intent. And I know it's going to sound really bad, but this for me just absolutely screams of a board who doesn't trust the manager and expects that manager's going to leave next summer and is saving their money.
I hate to say it, but you're right. It's true. That is true.
I think they're saving their money to do a rebuild next year under a new manager.
But what manager? Sean Maloney? Who's going to be the new manager? I mean,
you never know. I mean, it could be Postecoglou back again. That's right.
The guy I want is the boy for Bodo Glimt. That's the guy I would like to get.
Although on Postecoglou, you've got to make him a bit of a favourite for that Bayer Leverkusen job, haven't you? Because they got rid of Ten Hag.
I thought he was in for the Nottingham Forest job.
Well, I don't know. I think he would go to Leverkusen first, wouldn't he?
Probably would.
I think if there's any team that's almost, apart from maybe Man United, that's almost tailor-made for Ange Postecoglou, it's Bayer Leverkusen. They're the sort of team that love to win 4-3.
Have you heard something I don't know? I mean, are they interested in Postecoglou?
I'd be very surprised if they weren't.
Right.
I mean, I think that maybe they've kicked Ten Hag out pretty quick because they're thinking if we don't go now, Forest might come in.
I was thinking they might want the Rodgers.
Not if they've watched the Kairat game or the Rangers game.
I know, you're right.
But I mean, what are you thinking then? Obviously, the window isn't closed, so maybe we'll save this for the next pod. We can sort of talk about where we
shut till 11 o'clock, obviously. So yeah,
how we feel we've come out. Because I don't want to say that we're weaker, we're stronger, any of that, because some things could still happen. But
I know.
Right now, would you say you're quite worried?
Extremely worried. I'd say I'm extremely worried because I don't think we're going to come out of this window stronger than we went into it. Not a chance.
No,
doesn't look like it.
The problem is with all these games, and I know that some people laugh off Hearts' challenge, but the fact that they don't have European games,
I know
Celtic are going to have 6 this side of the new year.
And then who knows how you're going to play coming off the back of the European games, whether you win, lose or draw, you know.
And it's always tough, see, when you go to like a Livingston on the back of these games, or you know, even a Tynecastle, you don't want to be doing that. Aye.
Even Kelly as well.
But we'll move on to Rangers in terms of our signings. It looks like we're getting the two we spoke about at the end of last week. Cornelius, the big centre back, the Canadian
Canadian
boy,
boy.
and Youssef Chermiti, who
Is that
when we were
the
first linked
boy
out,
for Everton?
I was like, okay, young player, kind of, he lost his way. Seemed like he
A
was a
lot of money.
wonder
It's a
kid.
lot of money though. It's a lot of
And
money.
that's the problem, though. I think, see, if Rangers were signing him for 3 or 4 million, you'd be like, oh, that's great. It's a player that's lost his way. You can rebuild, and it's almost one of those ones that you go, it's quite low risk, high
Mm.
reward. But this is a high risk.
Right. Well, of course he could
No
end up turning
reward
it.
because
He could turn it like either or Engels, whereas you get the big transfer fee and he might not be that good.
yeah, you could turn it awful, right? But at the same time, even if he turns out great, you're still not going to make a massive profit on him. And I think Rangers need to be sort of getting like the Gassama, right? He comes
What do
in,
you
you
mean
go,
you're not
right,
going to make a massive profit on him? And you've got wait, did you say 22?
well, he's 21, right? But
Right, but if you're bringing him in and he turns out to be excellent, you try to say to me you won't get any more than 8 million for him.
no, but what I'm saying is that if you sign a player for 2, 3 million and then you
Mhm.
sell him for 12 million, that's a great profit. Look,
Ah,
Igaman, right? Igaman's a
well,
perfect example.
and
Even though,
so it's Kuhn as well. Kuhn as well.
exactly, if you buy them at that sort of low, that 2 to 3 million kind of market, and then you can ship them on for anywhere between 10 and 20 million,
Hmm.
that's brilliant. See, when they come for 8 million, they need to be really good for you to double your money.
Yeah, I
So
know,
I just think that
but
Gassam, right, he's come in, right, and we've got him for nearly, I think, 2 million, right?
mm,
Now that's a player that you think, okay, in a couple of years, if he kicks on and wins trophies, he's a player that can go for 15, 20 million, right? Now he has to do a lot to get there, but what I'm
is
saying
he a
is when we
permanent
sign
player?
him for what's that?
Is he a permanent player?
Yeah. So what
Because
I'm
I know
saying is we
you've got
sign
a lot of loan players, haven't you? You've
with
got a lot of loan players.
all just the defenders seem to all be loan players. But when we sign that for 2 million, you can see that that's the player trading model that Rangers need to go down. I just think this one's a bit more of it's a high risk one, but you know
Hmm.
what? It could work, but it does make me a wee bit worried that we're signing a guy for 8 million that's only scored 6 career goals.
Pretty bad, isn't it?
But I don't think we should judge anyone until they're in the door, you know,
No. No.
and until you actually see them with your own eyes. But if we move on from
Got to be
Rangers,
given a chance.
looks like Aberdeen are bringing back Kevin Nisbet.
I've
Good
seen
signing.
that.
I
Yep,
think he's a
yep.
good
That
player at this
sounds like a good
level,
signing.
and also I think he is a good player for Europe because no disrespect, but the boy Yenge that I've seen, I think he looks a wee bit
There's
clumsy.
no
Whereas
doesn't look that good.
I think Nisbet can do that lone
Hmm.
striker role away from home in Europe. That sort of that tough job where you just need to run about
Yep.
like a madman. Hard
What about the what do you call it? The Lyndon Dykes one?
London
Is
Dykes
that
to Hibs. As
is that
far as
still
I knew,
happening?
that was still happening. Yeah, and another one is Ryan Jack to Dundee.
Is that true?
You know what? Though? I
Okay.
like that one. I think I mentioned it the other week. I don't. I think I mentioned it for a few teams. I
Hmm.
felt he would be a good player to bring in because he's really experienced.
You'd have thought
Uh,
Aberdeen would have taken him back.
he's had fitness issues, I suppose, is the problem. But yeah, I think for Dundee, Presley will be buzzing. I think because they've lost a lot in that midfield area over the last 2 years. With obviously Celtic taking McCowan and Rangers taking Cameron. So
Aye.
maybe just an old head in there to maybe guide some of the younger players is a good signing.
Hmm.
Um, who else have I seen doing some business?
I've not actually on the subject of Hibs. I've not actually heard anything else about the Kieran Bowie thing to Celtic. I've not heard it earlier in the day and I heard it yesterday, but
Well, I even
nothing.
heard it to Rangers earlier because there was talk of Anderlecht, obviously, who are selling Dolberg to Ajax now.
Aye, that's right.
But
Because I heard we
apparently,
were going to go for Bowie because we didn't get Goldberg. So,
well, I heard that Rangers were looking at him because apparently Anderlecht were interested in Danilo.
all right, right.
So I don't think anything came of that. I think it's probably just one of those ex rumours that you kind of just need to. But it's like until the window shuts, there's still. But he's a player that Rangers and Celtic should be looking at.
I wouldn't hold out any hope anyway. The
But do you know what
time's
really
ticking
annoys
away.
me though is like we're spending 8 million on, you know, a version of that, whereas I feel like Kieran Bowie at maybe 5 million would be less risk and also have that homegrown option.
Yeah.
But hey ho, I'm not in charge. But looks like St Mirren are trying to get a striker in. I don't know who. I think Motherwell are looking at Stephen Welsh from News
I heard, yeah, they were trying to get
and
him for
Bailey Rice
Celtic.
from us. But I don't know what the issue is with Bailey Rice. Is he picked up an injury against Alaba?
Hmm.
So I don't know if they'll take the risk on that one. I think they might if it's just a loan deal. Do you know what I mean? Because even if he was out for a couple of weeks,
I don't know about the whole Stephen Welsh thing either. I've not heard anything else. I heard it earlier on today, but I've not
but
heard anything
I
since.
think he'd be well suited in that Motherwell team though, because they look like they're playing good football.
Would that just be a loan then, I think, as well, would it?
Looking like both of them were just loans.
Right.
I've not really heard anything from Falkirk or I think Dundee United are trying to, the boy that scored the second goal yesterday. I think they're already trying to make that deal permanent. It
Right.
tells you how impressed they've been, but I always find that a strange one that you're trying to make something permanent after about 4 weeks of a loan.
After he scores a goal, one goal.
Maybe well, he's done a few, but I was thinking.
No, I know, but
maybe wait till Christmas. And see
aye,
if
I was going to say that because that's what Celtic have done before that. They've done that with Boric, signed him at Christmas.
Maybe Dundee United, I think last year they didn't do that with Sam Dalby, and then they couldn't afford them. So maybe if they if they do negotiate when he scores,
maybe that's why they're trying to get in quick. Yeah.
I've not had anything from Kilmarnock. I think Livy signed 2 today. I think they've got young players on loan from West Ham and Man City. But again, they won't. Livy will obviously be looking to get numbers in, won't they? But
I've got on the Sky Sports News, and now I've got it on the breaking news. There's what's his name? Chandley. Is that him? It does in Sky Sports Football.
Mm-hmm.
He's at Ibrox. Breaking news. I don't know what that is, but it's breaking news.
It'll be Chumity.
Oh yeah, the guy you.
I think I knew that one was going to be about 8:30. That was going to be announced, so I'm not sure about that. But yeah, when Rangers will do it. Look, there is one though that's still outgoing. Is that Jezrun Raksaki? He's a right winger that's been linked with Hughes and us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I heard that. I heard that this morning.
I wonder if.
But that didn't grow any arms and legs. I never really heard anything else about that. I just didn't grow any arms and legs.
At the start of the summer, but then Crystal Palace wanted a permanent deal, and we felt he wasn't worth 10 million, and we moved on to Ant-Man, and then we signed Ant-Man, and now it's a bit like, well, now they're willing to let him go on loan, and you're like, well, I don't know.
Let who go on loan?
That Raksaki. So
all right.
It seemed to be a loan deal, but without an option.
I thought because you mentioned Ant-Man, then I'm thinking you're not putting Ant-Man out on loan, are you?
No, I was just saying we signed Ant-Man rather than Raksaki because we didn't want to maybe pay the 10 million.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think what will come of the transfer window will come. What are you thinking about Scotland on Friday night? Away to Denmark, tough game, innit?
Really tough, aye. But especially with Stevie Clarke's tactics.
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair though, sometimes when we play good teams, he actually sets up properly. It's the fact that you might be more worried about Belarus on the Monday because does Scotland have the ability to break them down? Whereas if Scotland went away to Denmark and got a 0-0, you'd be buzzing. You'd be like, that's perfect.
Right, I'd be happy, but you'd be glad at the same time. God, that's like the third or the fourth 0-0 I've watched in the space of a week or a fortnight.
I hope it is. Don't watch any more games until Friday. I don't know as much. But no, I
don't think I could take any more 0-0 draws, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Clarke, he'll find a way to get 7 centre midfielders in his team. 2 left backs.
Absolutely no striker.
Aye, but what do you think Bowie could start, or do you think he's more likely to start against Belarus? I think he's more going to go with the tried and tested, like Dykes.
Aye, I would say he would go with the more experienced guys, and then obviously against Belarus, Bowie's more likely to get a chance. Aye.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's 2 away games, but see the second one, it's not going to be in Belarus because obviously you can't go there because of the whole war thing. But it's going to be behind closed doors.
What, the Belarus game?
Aye. There's going to be no crowd at that one. So
it'll be like COVID all over again. It'll be like COVID all over again.
But like I've seen a few like European ties, and you think, these are just horrible. They just don't feel right.
Nah, it's no the atmosphere with any fans. It's horrible.
But I suppose no atmosphere means there's nobody to shout at Steve Clarke, so probably won that one. But no, it's obviously been a difficult week or so in Scottish football, I think, in terms of obviously the European stuff.
Yeah.
And then obviously, if you're Rangers and Celtic fans, you probably found that game on Sunday just utterly dross.
Oh, it was. I mean, I'd rather have sat and watched paint dry for an hour and a half, to be honest with you. It was that bad.
I mean, it's just.
I saw a thing online actually I found quite funny earlier on today. It was if you're struggling to fall asleep, here's the Celtic and Rangers highlights for yesterday, and if you fall asleep watching them.
But honestly, see if you watch Celtic's last three games, though. In fact, even if you include Rangers, right, in terms of the Bruges games, right. Now, obviously there was goals from Bruges, right, but see the lack of chances created by Rangers and Celtic in those three games. Now, I know you can maybe say Rangers fair dues, right? They were down to 10 men after 9 minutes in one of them, right? So
Yeah.
maybe you're not going to create much, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's acceptable at clubs like Rangers and Celtic to just not look like scoring goals.
No.
Like, and it's making it a wee bit of a chore to watch. And I tell you what, though, the winners of this at the moment, and we obviously need to be honest, is I think Hearts are probably looking at this thinking this is arguably one of the weakest Celtic teams in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
Rangers, everyone knew were going to be in transition this year. It was never going to go smoothly.
Yeah,
It
and I
might go
know,
smoothly in the second half of the season,
mhm.
but
I
up
know it's
to
not going to.
Christmas, it's going to be horrible.
I know it's not going to happen because it probably won't happen. But Hearts should be thinking along the lines of, or even Hibs for that matter. We've got a chance here. If they're that bad, we've got a chance, and this is maybe their best chance of going and having a challenge to win the league in
Yeah,
years.
I mean, obviously, first thing they'd want to do is make sure they can keep Rangers behind them because that gives you that real chance to finish top two. And then
I finished second even. Yeah.
they shouldn't be scared of Celtic though right now.
No,
So obviously
no
the
the way.
problem is though, if
Especially if we
Hearts
don't
were
pull
like,
off any decent signings in the next couple of hours.
but if Hearts were like 4 points clear in January, December, right? For instance, you just know that Celtic would go out there and spend 15, 20 million and go and win the league. That's the problem in Scotland is that Hearts probably can't do that.
That's right.
But do you know what though? It's been that way for a while. But do you know what? I'm glad that we've got a more competitive league. But I still don't feel I've seen that yet though, because Celtic haven't really played. Well, they've certainly not played any good teams yet, and I include Rangers in that. Because Rangers and Aberdeen were absolutely abysmal against us. And I mean, if that's meant to be two of your top four challengers,
I know, but Celtic haven't really, in all the games that I've watched Celtic, they've not really been top class themselves. You know what I mean?
you haven't been good, but you still haven't conceded, which is just mental because
I know.
you look terrible at them.
The defense, well, we did concede, but it was offside the other day.
But they need to count, don't they? So it's like, well, do you know what I mean? And Aberdeen didn't know what was scoring, Rangers didn't know what was scoring. St. Mum didn't try.
Outside of that goal, Rangers did score. After that, they didn't have any
No, I
chances
mean,
really to score.
there was one where I think Sam sort of skinned Tierney and sort of cut it across, and Scales sort of cut it out really well. And I think Michael caught it. But that's the sort of one that if you drill that across, you sort of passed it across. If you drill that, Scales could easily score an own goal. You know, it's that sort of ball what you just. And I feel like that was the one thing that Rangers got wrong yesterday was Gassama should be on the left wing. Is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean, obviously we'll come back on Friday and we can sort of. I think the next one, if we maybe just talk about all the teams and just seeing if they'll come out the transfer window strong, not strong. We'll do a further sort of Scotland thing and just obviously maybe make it a bit more positive and look at the kind of what we've got to look forward to in the next few months. Because obviously European football is a good thing. We've got Scotland games aplenty. We've got the League Cup, obviously. We've got obviously a quarterfinals, semi-finals, final. So there's lots of good things to look forward to. It's just, I think it's hard when your team's...
Depends on what players we've got.
Right. But
whether they can compete.
If Celtic don't get anything in tonight apart from the Tunisian boy or the young Chelsea boy, I think all the teams should be thinking this is an opportunity between now and January to go at them, because I sometimes think teams sit off Celtic because they do have so much more quality. I
Yeah.
think you can't say that this year. You can't
No.
you
No,
can't
we've
Celtic, you
sold
can't
all our quality players.
even last year you go, there'll be a bit of magic for Kuhn or Kyogo. But see, since January when Kyogo left and Kuhn stopped playing, because he did, you can tell
I
that
know.
boy wanted to move
I
as
know
soon
he
as the
did. I know he
Bayern
did.
Munich game
As
was
soon as the
over.
Bayern Munich game finished, he down
Yeah.
tools, yeah.
So all you were really thinking of was, I mean, Maeda could do something, and he was on a purple patch, and I think everyone knows that was a purple patch. You know, everything he was hitting was going in. All strikers have them. Kenny Miller had a great career of that. You know, he would have like 10 and 10, and then 0 and 10, then another
Mhm.
10 and 10. That's what he was like, and I think Maeda's a bit streaky like that.
Aye.
And I just think this year he's not started well. You're relying on guys like Forrest, Yang. We don't know much about Balakusha and that yet,
No,
but
he'll be
you know,
given a
right now
chance,
I
of
think
course.
it's
Need to give him a chance.
time. Yeah, no, exactly. It's the same with Rangers. I mean,
Mhm.
Ant-Man Gassama could be really good. Majovsky playing up top might just be the missing piece we're looking for, an actual
Mhm.
striker that can move. Who'd have thought it, eh? A striker that
Aye.
can play back to goal might just make us better. But, you know,
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting at the next international break to see where we're at. Because I just get a feeling that, you know, if Rangers aren't any better, they'll have a different manager. And if Celtic aren't any better, their manager's going to be under major, major pressure.
Mhm. Yeah. We'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yep, but
Yeah.
let's look forward. Let's be positive. And how can we be positive? It's the international break.
No, I know.
But, no. See, I
The
like
dread.
international games, but it's just
Mm.
the boringness and waiting for that.
I just don't like it myself.
The,
But
the
we'll just have to
Rangers
suffer it.
doesn't seem to play every 3 days or something. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? So you're kind
Mhm.
of
Aye.
so it's that sort of
Yeah.
it's waiting for the games. But
Mm.
you know what it's like though. They'll be over. You know, once we get to Friday, you've got a game on Friday, a game on Monday, and then after that you're back to club and you're looking forward to your next game. And I'm pretty sure Rangers' next game is Hearts at Ibrox, so that'll be an interesting one.
It will be. Yeah.
Who have you got?
Oh God, I can't even remember.
There
I
must be a
can't
way to
remember.
find it.
I'll need to look it up. I can't remember because I've got the charity game this
Oh
weekend
no,
coming.
I think it's Kilmarnock.
Right.
I
Right.
think
Oh,
it's
aye, away.
it's
Away.
the draw
Because
specialists.
we've not got a home game for a wee while yet, so it's away to
Yeah.
Kilmarnock. You're right.
Well, you have got the draw specialist, and we've got the
Mm.
team that grind out wins, so that's not going to be
Right.
fun. Right. Well,
Right.
I shall see you on Friday, and we can obviously discuss what we're going to discuss.
Yep.
All right. You'll have a good one.
You too, mate.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks again.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.